Fuck ISPs. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I hope resetting the router fixes it. But if it's a problem with my computer, I'm about ready to just punt it across the street. Alright. Let's fuck with an evil body horror man who isn't very nice.
The machine gun grants me insight.
Oh yes. We've got that. I'm having a great time. Oh, he's got limbs for days. You are looking at several completely identical homunculi at work. A disturbing sight. The indistinguishable and familiar faces turn towards you, morosely and almost indifferently. One of the homunculi starts to talk with the usual arrogant specimen. We meet again. Your escape from Kolmara was both a statistical anomaly and an act of abject cowardice. You should have died in the Dark City instead of overstepping the limits of your own usefulness. You caused too much commotion. Monster falls silent. Barely perceptible electrical charges run through the homunculi's body. Then the one who spoke continues. So now you're here. Now what? Are you going to bore me with your questions? Observe. The homunculi are twitching slightly as though from invincible electric impulses. They look frigid. The missing something. A limb, an implant, a facial feature or two. The single gaze of many faces no longer seems full of harm. Only a shared defect also shows in it. Oh, what is this place? It does not exactly look like a Jukari laboratory. The clones around you see. The clones look around them in a movement that is almost synchronized. This disembodied voice answers you. This dreary vault is lacking in practicality and function, but it has served as a passable refuge for me and my resources. Why are you here and not in Kolmara? I am obviously here because this is my laboratory containing my research that requires my attention. So you found new company? Found? Don't you mean made? I've had a backup shell stored away for centuries, but the events of the Spire, the Reaving Tempest, convinced me that one active body was not enough. Am I talking to one Travantis or several? Is each of you a separate individual? Are silent, and yet you can hear his reply. The voice seemingly coming from every direction. My new multiple form is intriguing, isn't it? I'll leave your question unanswered to give you something to ponder. That hole in the ceiling is a peculiar design choice. What happened there? Inigal faces look annoyed and spiteful for a moment. Is about to reply in unison, but a barely electrical pulse stops them. One of them scoffs and mutters through his teeth, just more proof on how unreliable partnerships with lower life forms are. You notice one of the homunculi glance at the hole. Fury contorts his face. He's unable to hide anger at what happened. Whoever did what I did, they enraged him. Saw the body of a dead tech priest. Where did he come from? How would I know? I can't tell one monkey from another. This meeting shall be our last. You're different from the others of your species specimen. This time around, I want to study you much, and I mean much more thoroughly, which necessitates your death. I hope dying once isn't enough.
Beware the eye of the witch.
I will bathe in your screams.
I hope you enjoy dying. I know I will enjoy killing you. I don't think I did. Okay, what do you... Powered from home. Unsuspecting. Alright.
Watch. Try harder. With grace and malice. Don't distract me. I yearn for agony. It is handled. Build. Watch.
Haha!
Warrior of anguish! Don't distract me. Revel in your terror!
Hello, Argenta. Are you going to go Bert? I hope you go Bert.
Faith without deeds is worthless. As the Emperor commands, I act. Doubt is for the weak.
Can you... Oh. Well. That's unfortunate. You are immobilized for 2 rounds.
As the Emperor commands, I act. This is why I was chosen! I'll do it. Faith without deeds is worthless. As
I
the
need to
Emperor
make sure
commands,
that he regrets that.
I...
Lord Whiskers of Floofy Bird, hello.
In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
All of the clones are dead.
I'll make you howl.
Well, most of the clones are dead.
Not enough!
Nobody escapes us.
We go hand in hand.
Haha, you missed.
Not a problem for me. Suits my purposes. Nothing I can't do. All too easy. Absolutely not. Nothing I can't do. Suits my purposes.
Okay. Shit, she can't do anything.
Nothing I can't do.
Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands. I'll do it. Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. Power resides in the will of the righteous.
Alright, Argenta, make them
Doubt is for
disappear.
the weak. That is not the Emperor's will. As the Emperor commands, none can escape the Emperor's judgment. Faith without deeds is worthless. What is a prayer? This is unacceptable. As the Emperor commands, none can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Like, you thought that you would be protected because
Doubt
you
is
made
for the
shit
weak.
so that she couldn't move. Little did you know that she's about to reach out and touch somebody. That's
As the
somebody
Emperor commands,
being
I
you.
what
So
is
I
a
hope you
prayer?
enjoyed dying.
I'll do it. Eradicate it.
Oh, that's clever.
Faith without deed is... I refuse. This is why I was chosen. Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, This is why I was chosen.
You know, on future playthroughs, I'm probably going to have to nerf myself by not using
I'll do it.
Argenta because this
is
is
why I was
a
chosen.
little ridiculous.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Part of was destroyed by an immense force. It would be prudent to investigate. It won't work. Someone else will be absurd. Alrighty. We are here to steal. We are here to drink your beer and steal your rum at the point of a gun. Your alcohol to us will fall, 'cause we are here to drink your beer. Interception. Accustomed. Toughness. Demolition, cleansing. You know, I just want to increase. This guide wants me to increase her agility. I don't. I want to increase my strength. And what I want is what I get. I need to rebuild Idra as an overseer. It is apparently such a good build. Maybe even Pascal instead of a bounty hunter. Because he can have like a servo swarm. Okay. Let's collect shit.
A new challenge for me?
Because it really is a bunch of shit. And it's like, I know I don't know if I should feel bad about how absolutely trounceful I did all of that, but I don't. The guy was an asshole.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Armor of Despair. So I have heard. Ooh. Alrighty. Info. Slate is dented, screen displaying flickering, colored stripes. Readable parts are twitchy and contain repetitions. Numerous prior studies pursued a goal of breaking new ground and recreating and reviving the specimen in the event of death. The above-mentioned experiment laid the groundwork for modernizing and accelerating the recreation of a living organism from a minuscule amount of bone or muscle tissue. Every variety of living organism has been observed to release a number of chemicals at the moment of death that enable the creation of an entirely identical clone with intact memories of its prior life up to and including the moment of death, most vividly detailed as to both physical sensations and emotional distress. As mentioned before, even a tiny modicum of bone or muscle tissue sufficient for reviving or creating an organism in an adequate lab setup. Bear in mind that work on creating the new body must begin before the third stage of decomposition has set in. Hello, Savarak, and also there was another first-time chatter that I remember seeing, Mighty Ponage. Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for coming to WBPL. This is a community Twitch channel in which I am but one of the numerous chuckleheads who stream on here. I am Dr. Who's the Chef, and currently I am playing Rogue Trader. Knowing next to nothing about Warhammer, I have decided to that's one of my quotes, and I cannot remember how the fuck that came up. I need a blanket. I also need medicine. Okay, so Saverick, I'm not getting mad at you. I'm just like laying some ground rules. This is a blind playthrough. Yes, I have spoiled a bit of it for myself because I wanted to know all of my options, because that's kind of how I play, but I do not know the broad strokes of this game. I wish to experience it, for myself, and then I will have a fully spoiler playthrough in my own time. So I just request that you don't necessarily talk about events in the future specifically until or if I ask. Because there is no better pleasure that I have found in someone else experiencing a game that you enjoy for the first time. One of my personal favorites for this is Obra Dinn. If anyone does not know what Obra Dinn is, play it. It's great. Yeah, short answer, no spoilers. It's a murder mystery insurance game. And it's great. Oh man, is it so good. Oh, it's quite possibly one of the best games that I've ever played. And I cannot experience it blind ever again unless I suffer catastrophic brain damage. So I hope that you enjoy me experiencing Rogue Trader for the first time. Yes, I'm using a guide for builds because there is just a lot of information, but I'm now getting a bit more comfortable with the recent changes. I'm thinking about changing up a couple of characters, notably like Idra and Pascal, for to make them overseers, because I've heard that that's extremely funny. But I am here to experience this game and have fun and do stupid shit. Currently, my rogue trader is a noble officer whose entire purpose is to give Argenta more turns and shoot better so that she can hold down the trigger on her heavy bolter and make people disappear. It's a great time. Everyone else is just superfluous. I am locked in on Iconoclast with a dogmatic secondary. It's hilarious. One of the things I remember was one of the things I remember doing was telling my prison guards to be a little less lenient, and they're just like, all right, we're only going to use shock batons and our fists to discipline the prisoners. We're going to withhold food. Or we're going to withhold food instead of decimate them. And the prisoners are just like, yay, humane treatment. And I'm just like, I don't think that word means what you think it means. 40K, this has been a great romp into the grim darkness of the 41st millennia, and I am having a wonderful time. Asterisk. I am having a time. Whether or not it is wonderful depends on the perspective of who is asking. Me, a rogue trader. This is hilarious. I sincerely wish that demons and pirates would stop ambushing my ship every time I decide to go through the warp to get to my protectorate, but that's what guns are for. Space around the hollow is littered with lumps of broken rockcrete. A feeble breeze blows through the ugly hole in the ceiling, stirring up whirlwinds of stone and dust at your feet. Hole in the lab's vaulted ceiling and the hollow underneath point you to an obvious... Someone broke into this room, ripped out a piece of the lab, and dragged it outside. You are for now mystified as to what that something was. Take a closer look around. Well, I wish they would knock. Through the pile-up rocks, dirt, and thick dust, you're able to make out parts of fixtures that were ripped out and thrown to the floor. Parts like these are used for fascinating industrial girders and large manufacturers. Try to surmise what matter. Destroy the ceiling. You study the edges of the breach carefully, reflect for a few minutes, conclude that the hole in the lab ceiling was created with several powerful targeted explosions. After some time, you notice characters and marks of debris on the wall. The ceiling was breached using multi-charges. What do you make of this? I don't understand. Your car machinery and their toys seem out of place within these walls. They seem positively alien, in fact. These walls, why? This is standard architecture of an Imperium bunker. Why would a Xenos conduct their business in a place like this? Travantis was robbed. I really wish I could have seen his face the moment he looked upon his lair. Although this place, it's not a homunculus's lair. It's too safe, too shabby, more of a last refuge. Was that really all of Travantus?
I'll lay claim to the stars.
I just walk in and Argenta goes, Bert, that's rather anticlimactic. What a bitch. Ran away like a bitch, acted like a bitch, died like a bitch.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Man, this was a harder fight than the frickin' Travantus fight.
It's about time.
How could the rogue trader allow you into his retinue? What failure of will led him to find a place at his side for an abomination like you?
Do you really want to know the answer? Curiosity. Curiosity which I will satisfy in the most complete and pleasurable way possible.
No, Marazai, it's because you insulted me, and I have deemed it that, that keeping you in my retinue and telling you what to do, is absolutely insulting to you, and I find great pleasure in making you uncomfortable. So, I guess, like, in a roundabout way, you are correct. A Voxcaster under your armor spits out a cacophony of chain swords, human screams, working buttons, repair. Carefully wielding your tools, you open the device and check each part's condition. Does not enjoy your manipulations, hisses you, it illumines, the screen glows red, and then it stops. Right before your eyes, the device remains, speaks with gods, hoarse and feeble. O Starborn, Sky Herald of the Eagle God, and nightmare to come, the heart of the forest calls out for you. Oh no! Emerges from the depths. Oh no. Processing acquired data, restoring restoration complete. O Starborn, Sky Herald of the Eagle God, hear my prayers of your servant sent to you through the myriad forest of Timur. The nightmare has become real, darkness has left the forest, but the light of the dying star can be saved. Part of the forest is calling out to you. Oh. Ah, the dust sun has reached the treetops, and the crimson heart has, the star is dying? Or have they stolen the star? What? Certainly love speaking in riddles. Go to the village. Did he pull a, did they pull a Rycad? I hope to God they did not pull a Rycad, because I'm going to be very pissed. Oh, good. Everyone's just dead. Blood for the rogue trader's throne, skulls for the skull god. Oh. Caligos. You have been succumbed to corn worship. Hypnotized by his master's words, bloodshot eyes, glowing flame, unnatural. Remaining members of retinue have dispersed around the village's center. Navigator apathetically observes the massacre from a distance. Tech free spears are fascinated by assembling and disassembling her own leg up, and the mercenary is raising the village. Wholly satisfied. New Psyker speaks with gods, is nowhere to be seen. By the Golden Throne. What offense did these poor souls commit to deserve such a gruesome fate? Huh, I'm growing fond of this monkey. Ah, how was your hunt? They were your subjects? Why? You convinced me to stop hunting Xenos, New Blood. But thirst and melancholy got the better of me sooner than I anticipated. I grew bored and these worthless peasants squealed so miserably that I wanted to strangle them more and more and more and more. What happened to you? What have you become? What are you saying? Have the Xenos addled your mind in such short a time? Did Theodore explain to you that it was in the Expanse? Baseless accusations went out of style a good few hundred years ago. Return to calm settlement. What evidence does one need? They were born on my planet, living pointless lives for a single purpose, satisfy their master. They have fulfilled their purpose. Orchestrator seeks to befog your mind. Such insolence slit his throat. I believe Wharton is the one responsible. Carved up their bodies and enjoyed the moment, thirsting for blood. Unlike you, I don't make friends with Xenos, or I use them. Or kill them. Death of Xenos is a supreme good. Showing mercy. I know you killed your own seneschal. What nonsense you're spewing. Edric died at the hands of Xenos. You are tempted, I can't. Or I truly cannot remember. What happened? Who dared? No, I surely couldn't have. Or... Marshmallow is a heretic and servant of chaos. He is the one fanning the flames of your rage. Your last chance, Caligos. Cleave this upstart in two with the axe I have blessed you. Skin him and bathe him in blood. He will forget everything and continue on your journey to hunt and to kill. As you're doing, you wretched cur. I've showed you mercy, and you have been corrupting my soul this entire time, forcing me. No one forced you. I merely enabled your desire, fostered it, and made your crimson rage blossom. You suspected, yet your own pride stopped you from recognizing your own weakness. Weak, worthless fool. I have spent many years growing this rage inside you, and still you resist. Do you think you could refuse the blessing of the Skull God at the last moment? Well, one way or another, he will claim you. Alright, Caligos. Staring at the endless sky, his pelvis twisted unnaturally, legs not moving, exposed bone shards, blood streams down his chin. That was a good fight, New Blood. I did nothing. Your spine seems damaged. There's no walking with that. It seems you may be correct. Does not look dismayed. After all, I can't even feel anything below my chest, aside from an overwhelming feeling of helplessness. What now? Remain here with what's left of my escort and wait for help. You should go. There are still so many undiscovered scars and worlds out there. I'll take you to the Emperor's Valley. But if you are so concerned about an old man's health, I shan't stop you.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Well, Warden, get fucked. What the? No. Not all the way. I think I finished Solomon's quest. Not everything that he can do. I think there's still more that I can do with both of them.
None shall stand in my way.
What the hell is going on? Did I get him to a ship? I hate this place.
Follow my lead.
Lovely.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Everyone is dead? Uh-oh. Okay, whatever. Let's leave this place behind. This was stupid. It just got lost for the sake of getting lost. I did not necessarily enjoy getting lost.
victory awaits!
Nah, let's level you guys up. Blood of Martyrs. I don't think I actually have any stratagems. No, I don't think I actually ever took any stratagems. No, I didn't. I basically ignored the entirety of her second tier archetype. Because, like, all of the warp powers are apparently so much better. And I'm just killing everything else. Anyway. I know, I can, I just find it funny that this guide is just like, yeah, this is useless. Dance partners. Athletics. Master. All right. Let's just get out of here. Hello, Vidrus. Anything interesting? That will be all. Indeed you do. Hello, Argenta.
Greetings.
Thank you. See you later. Hello, Cassia.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without...
What did you say?
You are engulfed in clouds the color of dark umber. They carry an old pain and doubt.
No.
I beg forgiveness for my inappropriate behavior. When I see such oppressive colors, I immediately want to paint them a different hue, to disperse them. I already mentioned I cannot control it, except this time, I thought I would be able to, for whatever reason.
Don't apologize. It's an aid. Aww.
I have enjoyed your...
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Let us raise our cup, Fenris.
What's up, Solomorn?
Rogue trader.
What happened on Thessera?
Of course. Which part?
What do you think we could have done to satisfy the prefect?
I do not know. It was one of those tough situations where only time will tell how well you handled them.
Alright.
If I were in your position, I would take the prefect's evaluation in stride and learn from your painful experience on Dasara. Sometimes, life knocks the wind out of you in a way that can't be dodged, so it helps to learn how to take a hit.
See what she likes. I'm convinced that I made the right choice.
I'm not going to call the prefect's judgment into question, but you had to make a difficult decision, and you made it. You took responsibility. I appreciate such qualities in people.
Did you like any of the entertainment we saw?
I was on a mission, not attending to pointless amusements.
You are simply no good at enjoying yourself.
You are quite right, and I'm almost proud of it. What kind of arbitrator would stoop to idle revelry or throne forbid dancing?
Must be something that appealed to you.
Very well. If you insist, let me think about it one more time. The wine smelled like wash. The imposter hunt was a plot. I failed to see anything appealing there. And the rest of the festivities had all the characteristics of degradation. I believe that covers everything.
What a boring man you are.
You should take that into account if you ever need an escort for some high society event. You know, one who actually has your back and keeps watch instead of drinking.
Yeah, fair enough.
We could discuss something else?
Return from Vebos.
Yes, I've been looking for a chance to have this conversation. I must tell you something about my past, so that we might consider the matter closed. If you agree to hear me out, that is.
What do you want to say?
It's about what really pushed me into the pit of anger. Back in Calixis, before I was promoted to Proctor, I served in the same squad with another arbitrator, Emerson. Wasn't just a comrade. We entered the Schola Progenium together. We went through training together. We were assigned to the same hive world. He was like a brother to me. and I killed him.
Uh-oh.
Remember that mission I told you about? The one that cost me my arm? It was Emerson who sold us out to the crime syndicate and compromised the raid.
Uh-oh.
I was badly wounded in the fight, lying on the floor, barely alive. The rest of the squad had gone to scout the area, and Emerson stayed to guard me. He didn't notice that I was awake. He was talking over the Vox. He kept demanding bigger payment, and when he started giving our coordinates, I shot him in the back of the head. I figured that we weren't making it out of there alive, so I logged my final report, attached my Vox to Glato's collar, and told him to return to the headquarters. Then, I passed out again, and when I came to, I had already been captured. The heretics tortured me for days, but I held on until the exaction squad arrived.
What's an exaction?
A special unit. Exaction squads are dispatched to track down and apprehend dangerous criminals. They were investigating Emerson's betrayal, and it had led them to the heretics' hideout, where I was being held prisoner.
Why did they capture you instead of killing you?
I was right by their contact's corpse. They had to know how I found them out, and what else I knew about them. They tried to beat the answers out of me, tried long and hard. I kept my mouth shut, because I knew that the second I started talking, they would dispose of me.
How'd you survive?
I could throw pretty words at you about how I went through the Injunctor Cardinal in my mind, I prayed to the Emperor, but I did pray, and I was well trained to tolerate pain, but every arbitrator has their limit. When I was almost broken, what helped me through was hatred. I kept recalling that bastard's face and smothered any base thoughts I had about welcoming death again and again. Hours of agony, hours in the whirlpool of pure rage.
This just in, man too angry to die.
I was put under investigation, but was cleared of the charges and assigned to piety without Glato. The most corrupt hive world in the Drusis Marges. 2 years on got Glato back. But after Emerson's betrayal, I was never the same.
No, sorry to do that to your friend. You deserve better.
Maybe you're right. You have my gratitude.
Are we back? We good? Nope, we're not. This is starting to get fucking annoying.
I've been reflecting on the spirit of his law and what the Emperor himself wants for us. If anyone had told me before that I would be thinking about things like that, I probably would have caved their face in. But the truth is, I no longer see heresy in such thoughts. No, it's the opposite. I feel like they bring me closer to the Emperor.
No, it's not Twitch. It's my fucking internet.
You need not concern yourself with Glato. I recently finished checking all his protocols. His responses are instantaneous. I cannot pretend I haven't missed his companionship. He did send a message,
That's the
and
Marshal.
the phrasing was unusually heartfelt. Solomon Anthar, you are hereby restored to your rank of Proctor. Never allow even a shadow of dishonor to fall on your uniform again.
Pardon me, but what exactly a part of that is heartfelt?
Every word? You don't know the Marshal that well, so you can take it from me. Good. It is about time we changed the subject.
Other business?
You know where to find.
What's up, bud?
Rogue trader. Then go.
Hey, Ballard.
Lord Captain. Lord Captain.
Heinrichs.
To what do I owe this visit?
Goodbye. Hello, Idra. Lips curve in a smile, she nods at something. How are you? Not regretting your decision?
Never been better, Lord Captain. No joke. As soon as I stopped fearing for my life, even the voices in my head quieted down. But don't get me wrong, they will come back. And one day I'll find myself in a situation I can't get out of. But for now, I'm fine. And it's all thanks to you. You know, I think it's pretty ironic that my gift lets me see the future, when thinking about the future is the thing I'll do anything to avoid. Substances of all kinds, jokes, stories about their good old days. I hide under them all like a blanket. As long as I don't poke my head out, everything will be okay. At least, that's what I thought. But I'm tired of living other people's stories. I want to tell my own. I don't know when or how mine will come to an end, but I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that somebody someday tells at least one decent story about Adira Tlass. And I can't think of a better way to do that than by standing shoulder to shoulder with you.
She sounds a lot more confident, and I think confidence and faith in oneself is very important for keeping the Psyker Warp at bay. That or praise the Emperor. Don't sell yourself short. You have enough adventures to fill a tome.
Then what are we waiting for? Get a scribe in here. We need to get all this down before we forget. But we have to make me more heroic and powerful so that I come out looking the best next to your other companions. What do you reckon? How many wastrels have we slaughtered? 1 million? Stuff that. Let's make it 2.
What waits for me?
All right. Let's hear what they're whispering about you. The stone visage of the Emperor is fearsome, but it does not see the flames at his feet. The brow of the one who calls herself his retribution is crowned by an orbital halo of corpses. But they do not all burn the same. Cold calculation can break even righteous anger. There is a canister of promethium at your feet, and where to pour it is your decision alone. The clockwork heart of a forbidden relic beats out of rhythm, grating more with every throb. He who started on your path with
Just
you
random
will make a way for
giant
daybreak.
ears. I love it.
In the foundry depths, a devastating blade is forged, one that you cannot hold. To unsheath it is to call down doom and destruction. I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The voices are going wild. I can't make out a thing. I'll try. You bet I do. Okay, so we went to Footfall once. Well, I mean, Lord Captain Theodora went to Footfall a lot. But on that occasion, she took me with her for some reason. My day had gotten off to a bad start. My head had been yammering since I woke up, but there was nothing else for it. I had to go. We arrive at the place, and what a place! All the gentlemen and ladies dressed to kill, showing off their encrusted implants, all clustered around little tables. Well, turned out it was a gaming den. And not just any gaming den, but one run by somebody with deep pockets for people with just as much cash to splash. You should have seen it. People gambling away planets in a game of regicide. Anyway, so the Lord Captain wanted me to help her beat some guy. So I tell her, the chips won't land in your favor. You'll get a bad hand. Don't sit down at that table, your ladyship. But did she listen? Of course she didn't. If there's one thing she never lacked, it's stubbornness.
All right.
So they sat down and the cards were dealt. I'm hovering around like I'm not involved, but I'm keeping my eye on things. And everything in my head keeps getting louder and louder. Anyway, it's a good thing I realized in time that my mind wasn't going haywire over a losing hand, but something else. I made some excuse to drag the Lord Captain up from the table and took her away from that place. And a few minutes later, the room where we'd been... It turned out some wise guy had the same bright idea to bring a pet psyker along with him. One of those ones who just scuttle around in Footfall's underbelly. And the psyker just freaked out, I guess. After all the commotion, people went to see what happened in the room. And they'd all gone for each other's throats. Literally. With teeth. And I think they completely detached that asteroid from Footfall and pushed it off into open space so it would head off toward the local star.
Lovely.
Of course.
That is a story. Hello.
Take heed, Nemo. Our blessed Domin honors us with a visit.
Take my leave.
May the...
I love how he still
Hello,
is standing 1 foot on the edge
I
like
trust your
that.
journeys were fruitful.
Hi, Jay.
You are spoiling me with a splendid... Oh.
Hey, Pascal.
The only Scion knows me.
Hey, Abel. That is everybody. All right. Let's go to my quarters. Huh. I got some more trophies.
Halt! I noticed something.
Huh. That's the Shard of Cormora, I think. Take a bath. I love how there's just a marble bath on a spaceship. A very large marble bath on a spaceship. Alrighty. Summon Abelard. Claps his hands together. Lord Captain, what a fortunate rarity to find you at leisure. Since you have nothing else to occupy your time, I will give you a lecture on the history of House von Valancius. I would not be doing my duty if I did not start from the beginning. Wait, why do I have to listen to a lecture? You are the new head of the dynasty. It is unacceptable for you to be ignorant of your origins. Enlighten me. As I was saying, begin at the beginning. Oh no. Oh no, I failed. After an hour of names, dates, events, it all becomes an incomprehensible. That's enough for today. Ah. Relax, tension retreats, troubles, lost, worries. It is a conscious mind. What fills its consciousness? Finish. Skip. I wish to see someone. Idra. Let's go see Idra. Takes a draw from her hookah, playfully blows a few smoke rings. This is nice. 5 of my cabins could fit in here. And don't get me started at the rusty nook I call a shower. But I'm pretty sure you didn't call me in here just so I'd die of envy, did you? Tell me a joke. What is the difference between a warp storm and a dispute at the Adeptus Administratum? Is that at least there's a chance the warp storm might end. Oh god. That's not a joke, that's true. You know anymore? How many tech priests does it take to change a lumen? 3. 1 to wave the sensor, 1 to pray to the Omnissiah, and a 3rd to servitorize a serf to do all the work for them. Make it a good one. What do you call an unsanctioned psyker's cabin? It'd be an emergency airlock. Alright. Okay, that was actually pretty funny. Henrix. There's an achievement for calling everybody, isn't there? Is it a matter of terrible urgency, or did you simply call me here for your own amusement? On second thought, don't answer. I think I assessed the situation for myself. Suppose you desire entertainment. Very well, I'll give you something to occupy time. A game of intellect. That is often played in our conclave. I'll give you a fact about my life, and you will have to discern whether there's truth or lie. Shall we begin? I betrayed my family and caused the death of innocent people, and I was never held accountable for my actions. I am not very good at logic. Suggests that he is lying. Review my assumptions. Don't know any facts about him. You are lying. Well, I did not lie, but I did not tell the whole truth either. I once belonged to a house of Imperial Knight pilots. My younger sisters wanted a coat of arms like the ones that adorned the hull of our mighty machine, so one day I stole a cutter and used it to remove a coat from my uncle's knight. Oh no. Scandal next morning, someone had defaced the sacred machine inside our residence. I was soon discovered. My uncle, kind as always, named me a traitor to the family and demanded my execution. In the end, however, I merely reprimanded, and the guards in charge of watching the night were executed instead. Oh no. I really wish we could have seen knights or titans in the game. But I suppose that having an absolute Chad of a starship is enough. Cabela, let's learn about the web. Yes, to see me, Domin? Do you wish to learn about the cult's rights? Very well. Since you are in the water, I can introduce a rare discipline of the Bloodsworn men known as self-controlled drowning. If If you receive this honor as the water being so precious on the ship, still it has opened my eyes to many truths. Sounds like it could be dangerous. Every step we take is dangerous. Still we choose to walk. If done correctly, this ritual is simple and will cause you little pain. Teach me. Close your eyes and trust me. Reject the fear and remember, you have carried death within you since birth. It is simply a meeting between you and your oldest friend. Close your eyes and hear a quick splash. Has entered the pool. Puts her hands around your neck and gently pushes you under the water. As your lungs start to burn, she pulls you back to the surface, allowing you to take a single breath before she begins again. Repeat several times. She holds your breath at the surface a little longer. Fourth descent lasts than eternity, but her hands will prevent you from resurfacing. Oh no. Push your way to the surface and grasp for air. You're unprepared for this discipline. Breathe. Feel the life. Rest. I really want to finish these things, but like I think it's funny failing. Let's see Pascal. An oily patch spreads outwards from the meg. Oh, he's he's taking a bath. Smell of fruit lubricant fills the bath chamber. This receptacle is deemed adequate for the execution of the cleaning protocol. Why have you climbed into my bathtub? I received an invitation to perform collective absolutions. Absolutions are impossible to perform without submerging in the bathing receptacle. You are leaking oil. The statement is true. Disposal of waste substances is an integral part of the cleaning protocol. Why are you taking a bath with your clothes on? It is prohibited to expose the true threat to the presence of lay people. My raiment must not hinder the cleaning protocol. Will you not rust? No, the Omniscient has granted the sacred chromium resistance to the plague of rust. Please get out of the bathtub. You are welcome. The Sun Unit is grateful for the invitation. It will exit the receptacle upon completion. How long does it take for you to complete your protocol? 1 standard hour. Fine. This ablution will be I had a very nice bath. Thank you. All right. All right, bath master, clean my bath for me. Get Jay down here. Shireen, I heard you needed entertainment. Well, do not worry, I have a perfect solution. I'll show you how to combine the joys of drinking and the rigors of intellectual recreation into one incredible pastime. Then we'll play a game of Regicide, but instead of pieces, we'll use shots of Amsec. Rules are simple. When you capture an opponent's piece, take a shot. Ready? Let's play. Why do I have a minus difficulty, or is that just why it is? Play fair. Oh god. Jay makes us, and you quickly gain the upper hand as she keeping a clear head. Oh no. Have some water, don't worry. Play another round. Don't fall asleep in the bathtub. You bitch. Am I just like programmed to always fail these tests? I wonder what arbiters do to unwind. So unwind is not a code word and you are not in any danger. Do you truly wish to know how arbiters spend their time off duty? Well, why not? I suggest a shooting contest will use the empty bottles as a target. Give me a weapon and set out the targets. Forces hasten to carry out your order, and within seconds are setting out bottles that will serve as targets and deferentially placing a firearm in your waiting hand. Keep it simple, 3 rounds, 3 shots, whoever's the better shot wins. We'll raise the stakes, we're gonna shoot while drunk. Lands on target, and the enforcers applaud discreetly. Golf clap. My sidearm is an anti-armor weapon. Not a bad idea. It'll simulate mild concussion and bring us closer to combat positions. Raises his weapon and bottle shatters. I'll shoot with our eyes closed. Why not? Visibility in combat is usually far from ideal. Victory will be mine. Hey, that's cheating. Hey, Kaleido's my weapon. Means I can use him. My triumph is at hand. Ah. Ah. Lovely. I wish to see someone. Earlets. Bring her down here. Hello. You should not have called upon me for the sake of your own idle amusements. Children are serving a delight in unity, both in the universe and their kin. One of the ways in which we achieve this is unity is symphonic creation. I'm sure wishes for us to spend time with their closest kin. We weave images with our voices. Each of us adds something of our own until the melody becomes harmonious tapestry woven from different sounds. Sounds fascinating. Can you teach me? I do not know how much you truly understand what I have told you. Still, if your soul seeks harmony, try to weave your voice into the melody. You begin to sing, guided by your own emotion more than any specific rhythm. Every now and then, changes the flow of the melody, encouraging you to add something new. A warm feeling settles across you, and she softens. You create an unusual tapestry. It is unlike any I have woven with my kin. You lack experience, but you understand the purpose of the weave. And in our brief melody, I found peace. I must leave you. May you find peace. Interesting. Finish. I love how Soliborn came, we shot, and then he gave me a couple of grenades. I love it. Ulfar, let's listen to his sagas. A fine chamber. Now what kind of saga do you wish to hear? Heroic tale of valor. I have seen my brothers accomplish many fine deeds, but I will not tell stories of them. I will honor the valor of a mortal guards maiden named Soria. When all her comrades had fled or fallen, she alone stood and fought with us against an unholy scourge. She died with honor, a las pistol in one hand, a torn banner in the other. Fragile is the human form that stand with the Astartes. Yet those with heart flame, a hero's honored place will claim, besides the All-Father's children. me something amusing. Once my brothers and I clashed with a throng of orcs. On the 5th day of the fray, Brother Harad skewered one of the meaty bastards with his strange swords, and his sword got stuck. The fight still raged on around him, so Harad just kept swinging his sword, and the impaled corpse along with it. That's how he got his moniker. Harad Barbfang. Flies the green carrion above the battlefield bloody. 'Tis the banner of Harad, his glory displayed. It sends his foes fleeing, afraid of becoming Barbfang's new standard. Mood for a terrifying tale. Once, when I was young, a foul sorcerer bewitched me in battle. Made me see my own brothers as warp spawn, and I attacked them. Good was my fortune that our leader made short work of the scum before I could harm any of my brothers. It was my great horror when I realized what I had nearly done. Foams at the mouth of the spellbound runs, biting the flesh of prey misperceived. The sorcerer's grief will forever remember the pup scarred by brotherly blood, all but splits. That will be all. He's a very good poet. I wish to see someone. This is going to be interesting. I have been told you seek entertainment. Well, since you demand my time, I have a few ideas for it. How does bloodletting sound? I will not... Are you out of your mind? So you crave something more sophisticated. How about becoming more pleasant with this conductive charge? No. If you insist, I'll personally flay the skin from your back and send your servants to fetch some sacks of salt from it. What are you talking about? When entertained, so you call me. What do you expect? On second thought, Savior. Answer, I do not care. I will now return to what I was doing before I was so rudely interrupted. Alright, let's see someone. Cassia, get her in here. Lord Captain, it is most improper for us to be conserving in your bath chamber, and I cannot believe you wish to paint a picture of you disrobed. I cannot. It is scandalous. This goes beyond every standard of decency. So, consider it an opportunity to practice life drawing. Well, he's certainly an interesting model. Oh, it's a... it's a Picasso. Never painted people before. I'm willing to try if you insist. We suffer rush to use defense dynamics, however, engage small tongue and arm soon gives way to an intense focus. She becomes immersed in her art. May not be what you have in mind. Still, it is how I see you and your colors. This is a whirlwind of brightly colored paints outlined of you and figures suggested through broad, colorful strokes and fluid shapes. You'll be hard-pressed to call it a portrait, but a series of abstract images and impressions do vaguely resemble your form. Style is unique. I like it. You are most gracious. It would be a pleasure to paint like this again sometime, perhaps in a more traditional environment. Get in here. You mean us? Relax with me. You'll commence relaxation immediately. Would you like to talk about? We await your orders. Your orders are to enjoy some food in Amasek. Apparently, as they shove down delicacies, wash it down with expensive drinks, they have never experienced anything like this before and likely will never again. Feast they will not soon forget, a story they will tell their grandchildren someday. Tell me about yourselves. Do you have any other responsibilities besides guarding these chambers? For hundreds of years, our clan has been responsible for ensuring the safety during times of leisure and relaxation. I guard the bath chamber just as my grandmother did before me. She trained me herself and instructed me in my duties. This bath chamber used to be more dangerous than a battlefield. Sometimes you can slip on a wet tile, you can choke and drown. If the water's too hot, you can burn yourself. If it's too cold, you can freeze. There have even been cases where angry machine spirits have released sparks of fury. And of course, there have been numerous assassination attempts, and it is reassuring to know my enforcers are prepared for anything. We serve to live. What do you do in your free time? When we're off duty, we train, maintain our equipment, and pray at regulation-approved intervals. And we do have some time to ourselves. We might play some Tantolo, and Bran over here carves things out of soap. For the most part, we barely get enough time to rest, let alone for leisure. I demand a demonstration. Forcer looks slightly flustered, but he quickly sets to work, presents you with a bust of the Emperor about half the size of your palm. It's recreated with incredible precision and attention to detail. Small carving surpasses work of many a skilled sculptor. What a curious hobby, but that carving of is yours. You should keep it. I think I've just given his family a relic. You may relax here until I am finished bathing. We consider it a great honor, but please do not tell the Master-at-Arms we joined in your ablutions. Sourback would beat us bloody. Finish. Hey, what's up, buddy? Alright. I believe it is time to go to Footfall, right? Actually. Let's talk with High Farty. I'd like to order... Drusians. Cost. Hide untradeable. Roaring Thunder. Seal of Death. Ooh. Very nice. Ooh, I need to get that. Spillikins. Ooh, give me this. Reputation. What do you want? You want some artifacts. Take them. I don't need them. Death from above. Oh, yay. belly dancer. Can I... Oh, only 300. Imperial Navy, hello. Yay! I have maxed out 2 people. Alright. Hey, Der Burger, are you still there? I've been meaning to ask a couple of questions of you. Nah, Janice. Look at you. Holy ammunition. Up with the Drusians to 45. Okay, can I get you up to 45? Yes, I could. And let's just throw some melee weapons at them. Chances of getting hit in melee combat. Dodge against humans. Laurels of Command. Move, move, move. Military. Is a non-attacking consumable item. Is versatility. Overcharged plasma gun. Hello, Arc Ravatos. Welcome, welcome. This is Doctor Who's the Chef of the WBPL. We are here having a good time with Rogue Trader. We're doing some very silly stuff, trying to trade with some people to get our reputation up, because I've kind of not done a lot of stuff with them for a long time. It is a very silly game, and I am having a lot of fun with it. I know almost next to nothing of 40k lore, and this has been an absolutely hilarious introduction into the universe. Alright, let's see. I got an engine. Yes. Shields. Engine. Armor. Military adamantine. 9 points all around, or 10 points on the front and side? And my auspex. Eye of the Omnissiah. I do like those lance weapons. Let's see, I've got bombers, I've got power shield, focusing lens, maintenance deck. No, that's alright. I need more weapons. Melted torpedoes and big ol' lance. Upgrade. Upgrade. Alrighty. I believe it is time for us to go to Footfall. Yes, this old bunker, I remember that. It is the Poison World. There's my colony management. Holy ammunition. Holy hell, Batman. We're gonna make that. Janice. You're all done. Kiva, what do we got? Sky Barrier, Power of Plasma. We need Explorators 54. Okay, we need Explorators up at 54. I like that. War allies gain minimum damage to their ranged attacks. Sacrament of Light is 15. That's a very good... That is a very, very good engine. And the visor, psi rating. I don't like that. I really don't. It's between those two. Dargonius, what you got for me? The Scholar... The School, which gives me the Loyalist Garb, which is very good armor. That gives me shit across the planet. It gives me lots of people. Librarian, it gives me lots of rep with the Caspilicans. Whenever the wearer attacks a target in 5... It's interesting. I do not need this. And I do not want that. I have all of the reputation with the Navy. How did you already finish? This just gives me profit factor, complacency across the place, and power armor that is interesting. The Comet gives me +5 across the board in security, and the Reliquary gives me a very interesting weapon. This is all very... I hate these capstones. I hate that these capstones are so good and very, varied. We need to get to Footfall. Dargonius. Comes to the Administrative Palace. Ship's enforcers, and stranger insect-like creature on the astropathic chamber and destroyed. This is mine. Splitting headache. Oh no. God damn it. I don't want to go back to Dargonius. I want to do... Administratum and Dargonius. Where's Dargonius? Right there. Okay. The quickest way for me to get there. I need to get there. Alright. Burn. I know. That Dargonius needs my attention. You're distracting me from the main quest. Stupid. Alrighty, pirate raid. A gang of pirates has descended upon your colony and is now bombarding it from orbit. Pay tribute. Fight them off. Enter the battle. As if he didn't spend the last half hour playing around in the tub.
Order to the crew. Deliver
Blocked
me
some
victory.
of them. Okay, sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. My thing is, good. That is just all of them right there? Okay, well. I hope they enjoy getting blabbed.
Fire the launch battery. Bleed them.
Oh well.
Torpedoes locked. Leave the hull strewn across the stars.
Ha ha ha!
Another salvo.
They are going to have a great time because I have blasted them out of the sky.
Bleed them.
I love how the ships, the fighters, is a person on the map.
Target destruction confirmed. Praise the Omnissiah.
Hey.
Fire right now! Fire the launch batteries! Bleed them!
Yeet. The haunted Annabelle what?
Fire the launch batteries!
And so it will be with anyone who stands.
Our technological superiority was obvious.
I think you may have mistyped something there, Ramshackle. You're fine. Improved RAM. I haven't really done anything. Torpedoes and attack craft gained. Sanctified restart. Silent running. Steady hand. Take it all. I don't really need scrap anymore. We're gonna take that. And we're gonna take that. One, two, three, four, five. Huh. Alright. Hello, Dargonius. We need to go to the Administratum.
It's about time.
Marshal, out of the question. I will only speak about resolving the situation with the rogue trader. No intermediaries. For how much longer might we have to wait for the rogue trader? 10 turns? 30? Thrice that? Time is an invaluable commodity, and we currently have none, esteemed Marshal, not to mention that the blah blah explicitly states. Rogue Trader, the Adeptus Arbites request your immediate cooperation. The sacred tithe collected from Coronis Expanse is danger, and you are the only one who can negate this threat. Why me specifically? If it's so important, you should ask the Inquisition. Inquisition resources are not limitless, nor is this within their jurisdiction. It's delicate, however, and calls for the utmost secrecy. It is also immediately related to your dynasty and an ancient covenant with the Arbites. We indeed require your personal assistance. What danger are you referring to? All the expanse is ablaze. This state of disorder jeopardizes the critical strategic location of the planet of Lethus, clandestine world, provided by Theodora von Valancius for the purpose of storing the tithe collected from the worlds of the Cronus Expanse. At present, the world is overflowing with sacred tribute, amassed over the course of decades. After we lost contact with every single ship sent through the Maw in recent years, the decision was made to cease all attempts to transport the tithe at its fence until the warp's tumult has subsided. It was just such periods of Maw's impassibility Storage World of Lethus was devised. If I may provide certain details, as per regulations, prior to being sent to this temporary depot, all tithe shipments were first brought to Dargonis. And these deliveries were made using barges crewed by servitors, the only people on board with the privilege of the autonomous behavior being key officers and an arbitrator escort. In other words, the location of both the system and the planet is strictly classified. Special pacts was made with the Navigator House. Even I was not entrusted with the coordinates. And given the scarcity of our resources, the absolute secrecy of Lethus is its main line of defense. However, we are detecting increased activity near the Storage World's location. I do not want this, but I am quite plainly forced to ask for your help. Go to Lethus and organize the extraction of the Imperial tithe to Dargonis for further safekeeping. And who are these people? They do not look like clerks. These are bodyguards, members of the Fangs of the Expanse. They are here to demonstrate my willingness to offer the Adeptus Arbites whatever cooperation I can. Who are they? Mercenaries? Gregorus, you know we need every fighter we can. You have precious few people at your disposal, and every year fewer remain. The Mistradum regulations do not prohibit the employment of hired force. Marshal, do you suspect that someone is trying to find their way to the planet? Impossible. That would mean someone is commanding vast resources. Influence knows of its existence. There you have no evidence that could support this conjecture. Current state of Coronis Expanse, pirates and Xenos roaming where they please. It is far more likely that this storage world was discovered by accident. Best proof that he considered himself a deliberate search into himself. Why can't you export the tithe yourselves? It is an acceptable option. One with which we are prepared to proceed. The Administratum has requisitioned mercenary troops of the highest caliber under extreme circumstances. The Lex Imperialis permits, out of the question. In the Expanse, there exists a strict separation of authority, as certified by the Von Valancius Dynamo, enforced by the Lex Dargonis. Transporting tithe to and from Lethus and maintaining security is the detail of the Arbites. Aside from the head of the dynasty, Christ, we only have the right to set foot on Lethus or know its coordinates. Such is the word of law. There's another reason, under the present circumstances, only you can provide necessary level of security for the Imperium property stored on your world. Our RTs are too few and our forces are stretched too thin. We must see the stability of the deliveries. Thus, we are humbly asking for your help. I must remind you, to my embarrassment, that Draconius was gutted by Xenos. And I hope that you have since drawn some conclusions about the importance of guarding your key worlds. Xenos burns all of it. You know, we have no safer option. Is being hoarded on Lethus. Just how much are we talking? Enough to instantly turn someone who captured it into a force imitating the Caspilica Shadow Baron's attempting prize. What can you tell me about Lethus? At my insistence, it was struck from all astrological data. It was once a peripheral world of no value to tithe collectors. That's why its experience does not raise many questions. No one cared about a planet that had nothing to give. Had a whole planet in our possession, yet did not care to inform me. And Theodora was fond of secrets and good at keeping them. You inherited those secrets when you ascended her throne. There are so many of them that apprising you of them would be an impossible task, as is determining the scope of your knowledge. Resolved without delay. I will go there at once. My coordinates and passwords transferred to you. They're for your eyes only. Once you have arrived at location, you are to oversee the tide's transportation. You'll have barges there, and then redirect them to secure vaults. As you hurry, before all is lost. The Imperium needs its money. Let's level you up. Let's see what you got. Pacification, once per turn, can throw a grenade. No. Steady Hand of Justice. Enough bullets for everyone. Unpredictable. Let's take that. Agility. There we go. Got some. What do you have? Reactive armor. Alright.
None shall stand in my way.
Where, oh, where are we going? Oh, that literally didn't have anywhere over it. That's why. Okay. We're just going to chart a course there. We're going to make it unsafe. And we're going to chart new routes. Don't like seeing that red. Alright, we're gonna go to the Star of Martianus. Space dust! Space dust! Scan. Lava world. We finally go to Footfall after this. I do not need more plasteel. In fact, I don't think I need a lot of things anymore. We are now in Lethus's orbit. The ship has successfully exchanged access codes with the RPT's outpost, but landing pads, drop pods already calculating close by. Away T Vox correct the turn render ultrasonic comm. A moment later, connect return. What was that? Appears to be an intrusion into the data stream, one that was executed using Dynasty secret codes. I can only assume we have encountered a new security measure installed by later. Theodora. Send tech priest to determine the cause of the malfunction. Does it affect our security? Seem more akin to reciprocal auger scanning. Why is the landing pad unavailable? Foreign objects in the way, possibly containers. I am ready to descend. Let's go. Hi. Oh, hold on. I missed something. What did I miss? going to go back around and do all of these things really quick. To the bridge! Alright, what's going on, Solomon?
Rogue trader. You know where to find.
What? The arbitrator seems troubled. Pardon? Where is the arbitrator? Or is it referring to Solomon? What's going on with this quest? Are you the new ship's confessor? Hello. Are you enjoying faith with Piercians? Nice. Take my leave. Okay. Or did it want me to talk to the big arbitrator back on Dargonus?
Rogue trader. We are servants of the... You prefer to have a better understanding of the people you... I'm listening. You know where to find me.
Der Burger, question for you though, really quick. about colony management. So I've got capstones here, and I really don't know what I should do. Is +5 to everything that good? Is this armor good? I'd basically just throw it on the arbitrator. It's like profit factor is negligible at this point. And the reliquary, I don't care about the profit factor. And that hammer's pretty nice. I can just cheat that armor into my inventory. No, don't do that. All of my colonies, except for Dargonis, Janus needs complacency. Except for Dargonis, needs, or has, complacency issues. Like, it's basically just complacency. Yeah, but +5 to everything. You know? That was a temple comet. Yes, but do I regularly? I do kind of regularly use them. But then on Janus, we've got nothing. On Kiva Gamma, we have all of this stuff. I need to get my Explorators up. I'm looking at all of this Explorators rep, and I'm just like, ooh, that's very good. And I also very much like that macro cannon. This is also a very good engine, but I don't need mechanisms. I've talked myself into the reputation. Also, 20% damage. Dargonis. Charter of Rights. I gain more fellowship. Okay. Oh, that takes efficiency and security down. Which means that I want to do this then, instead of the librarium. But that's a lot of rep. And Vevos is done. But now, with the spending of that on Dargonis, makes me really feel like the school is good. Especially because that armor's actually pretty good as well. But that echo and the rep, I like. Oh no, behind, no, why? Cryptic message arrived from Kiva Gamma. Fabricator sensor reports that they have beheld the eye of the divine, requested details from your less devout servants. They clarified that Inquis group investigating many useful events taking place on the planet, followed a trail of mysterious binaric harmonics and came to an ancient and abandoned data complex. Connected to the manufacturing by amazing communication lines, contains a gargantuan data loom. Show that it is designation, or say it is rather menacing name, Null Caliph. Al-Khalif is immersed in sacred astrological calculation, so no implication to make contact. Tech priests have connected to it were punished for the intrusion with lethal ejection of motor force. The only thing they managed to find out was that the spirit of the data limb is not bound with the vows of compliance. Normally restraining machine spirit is such power. This is vows to no one. +5 speed. Logic. Ha ha, that's funny. What is this? A complex? It is an ancient production facility. It's older than the colony itself. Some assembly lines bear marks of the Cognizance fleet. Perhaps the first explorers who came to the Cronus Expanse set up a station on this yet uninhabited planet. The station was then consumed by the developing industrial colony and eventually forgotten. It is possible that whatever plans they have yet were clandestine. The creator's death ended up casting it to oblivion. The catalog contains no data. The catalog contains no data to support this hypothesis. It does, however, contain the designation Al-Khalif. Al-Khalif Initiative is a project of the fabled Archimagos Opticon, whose function was the initial exploration of the Cronus Expanse. All information on this project was removed from the catalog as per the Fleet's Conclave Decree following Permissibility Hearing 16. By the same decree, Archimagos was stripped of his title. What is it? Sacred computational mechanism of great power, body is vast, wisdom, and the metal of the machine, spirit would bereft. Imperial Titan machines, such might and splendor are carefully kept hidden from the eyes of the laity and worshipped on certain planets as great Logius oracles, sacred angels of the Omnisire demigods. Structure includes remarkable pieces of archaeotech, parts of it extending far through Kiva Gamma, like a void crack and tentacles. We know where the warp transmitter modified by Kiva came from. It must have been part of this mechanism. Data angels that we encountered earlier were born with the computational might. Full of vigor, they soar around the computational aura, which radiates into the new sphere. Their response to our presence has been favorable thus far. Because your servants have been monitoring the execution of Procedure OC, they boldly believe that they have gained some insight into certain patterns of the super calculation. They claim that they could help achieve an understanding or defeat them in battle. Any idea what it might be calculating? All we have is hypothesis. According to Al-Khalif, can't see into the warp similar to Navigator. Any interaction between technology and warp is, as you well aware, kept under careful supervision of the Adeptus Mechanicus, so you can imagine how unique it is. According to Magi, it can calculate roots of the Immaterium without rest or fear of corruption. Even the fact it has no soul, they claim it has the power comparative to a Novator of the Navigator House. Apparently was initiated by this mechanism to integrate Magi with high psychic potential in order to expand its own computational capacity. Currently, its calculations operating at full capacity are approaching completion. We can assume the execution of the procedure contributed to this. Tried communicating with it. Great Calculator seems indifferent to mortals' lack of desire to interact with us or destroy us. Tech Priest reached out to the Null Caliph. Once more, used certain excerpts of Decade's machine's reaction was benign and showed no hostility. What do my advisors think? That identified itself as Null Caliph as potential as Valbulata, one that could replace the need for navigators with comprised with fallible flesh. We must make contact with this holy entity. For to do so is to honor the Omnisci's tenets that the Tech Priests who The audacity to disturb were deprived of their motive force, a testament to the might of its data voice. I hold the knowledge to create a mediator that could interface with the fearsome machine spirit and ease the burden of revelations on unprepared minds. Serves into the warp, then is vulnerable to attacks from the warp. Never thought I'd suggest this, but if we want to make the machine we assault it through the Materium, Navigator Data Loom, Abomination makes mockery of the entire Navigator House's legacy. The very fact that existence is profoundly sickening and vile must be destroyed post-haste. Send word to the Navigator House, they will destroy this monstrosity. Complacency, complacency, security, security, cogitation boards. Why EF Ultima Octendum? EF Ultima Octendum. Why? I don't know. Pascal, do your thing. Ready. Pascal imparts secrets to the servants, allowing them to assemble a mediator device. Magi then prayed to the mighty machine, making an alliance with the rogue trader. Answered, halting and sacred caution, and bestowed its favor upon the supplicants. With its tireless, unblinking eye observing the warp currents, many travel or safe from peril. Fun. No, I was just like, it literally had the same stuff. Like, it was the like the readout was the exact same. It's a really good one, though. Fine. Between the library and the school, I don't know which one. Because we're back up to 100. One of the servants tasked with the Crucible's maintenance has declared publicly that he has been liberated of all worldly concerns. He is none other than the reincarnation of St. Cogitatus. There is extremely questionable reports claiming that he has performed miracles, supported by a congregation garnered by preaching. He's asked for Lord to depart Falstone with the Crucible in tow so that he may continue St. Cogitatus' work and use the relic to transform worlds, ones true to the faith of the Imperium, into lush, splendorous gardens. Not saying that such a generous gift from Kronos' expanse would here have a cost. Falstone would turn back into a wasteland, and he would lose prestige that comes with having charge over a valuable relic. Shadow of the Undying One. What do we know of the so-called reincarnator? Tybor Heike, Technomat from Footfall. He now prefers to be called Brother Pure Voice, an unremarkable commoner with no family, gaunt, unkept, covered in scabs from working the Crucible. He's become obsessed with the day it was discovered, never left his maintenance post, never rested, barely slept, fasting and living off stimulants and condensate from the relic's cooling circuit, and started having revelations and eventually saw the truth, or he went completely insane. The sermons are directed at commoners, appealing to them for humility and mercy. He often speaks about his former life as a saint, and many of these tales match known legends of Saint Cogitatus. No anarchical pronunciations or radical deviations from the creed found in his words yet. Opinions of my advisors. I have had ample evidence that saintly saviors like him in the past. Whatever great cause they proclaim as their mission, they genuinely, naively believe that people really do need them. If we round up enough orphans and lepers who would trip over themselves to beg our prophet for salvations, he will soon forget about the crucible and his holy mission. No few guilds of professional beggars who would be delighted to offer their services. False prophets in the street are a common occurrence. Sermons breed turmoil, riots. The Inquisition recommends that such unsable agents be isolated and removed. Arch enemies' lies take many guises, but the Emperor miracles are 100-fold stronger. On more than a few of these occasions, he bestowed epiphanies upon the faithful, even those of the humblest origins. I myself bear the name of a poor orphan who was granted miraculous power by his grace, so give me time and I will find you the most loyal agents to escort Brother Pure Voice on his travels. He'll keep him safe if he is pure, or punish him if they sense deceit, but I have a feeling his rebirth is a true wonder. The Undying One does not release the souls that have come to him. This man is either lying or misguided. Expert Spinner will help him see the truth or repent. Oh god. Oh gosh, do I really want to... Oh wow. All my skills. Efficiency. Oh man. Fuck it. More profit factor and more skills. Requisition voidship, pure voice profit, spiritual authority has suffered loss and loss of crucible, so it's substantial unrest among the populace before departing. Once belonged to his creation. But still. Which one's... At this point... Everyone's at 10. Charter oh, is that what that was? Charter of minimal rights. Adoption of charter document grants certain rights to commoners as scandalous decisions that will allow a small group of elected commoners to rule. But no, Loyalist Garb, yay. That's actually pretty good armor. Or Reputation. At this point, like, Reputation seems a bit more important. Yeah, Der Burger, which... the cartographers, I don't need any of this. I don't like that weapon. I don't need any more minerals, I think. I'm maxed with the Navy. I kind of want to get the Caspilicans up more. But that garb is... that armor is interesting. It's better for my character. Am I just min-maxing at this point, Der Burger? And literally just taking the reputation? Because it's like, I'm never shot at, really. For it. Because it's like the only person that's going to use it is Mazurai, and he's already fine. Fuck it. I'm gonna go back to Dargonis really quick, because I think I need to talk with the arbitrator there. Really? Did I just fuck something? Did I need that to find the Gene Stealer cult? Okay, we are going back in time. Let's do the time warp again. Christ. Night Owl, when's the next person on? Really? Wow. Okay. I think we might be going a little long then. Terrible news from Dargonius. Your lordship and vigilant servants have discovered an abscess of treachery in our capital world, one that has grown far too large and could rupture at any moment. The informants report that a group known as the Foreman clan is actually a cover for a horrendous cult of gene aberrations, who currently have their people in every echelon of the hive. They are traitors to the purity of humanity, traitors to the creed, rebels, and heretics. Apparently, their unholy sermons speak of 3 sorrowful phalanges of a finger pointing the way to retribution and unity. What exactly did my people find out? One tenacious clerk from the administration questioned the authenticity of the reports coming from the ruins of Sisipone. He personally observed the debris removal and entered the lower levels of the hive. There he discovered the sign that it was infected by a gene plague. Had extra armed abominations that had been buried in mass grave. Also found that remains of the Achilles Scalanders people. It seems that they had noticed signs of corruption and traitors now coming image cover up crime, buried their misdeeds under the hive. On the way back, the clerk's transport was destroyed, and he miraculously managed to survive. Now the heretics think that they have covered their tracks once more and continue their plots, oblivious and unprepared for our attack. What is this mutant plague that has affected our capital? Horrendous distortion of the human form. It seems that they have spread their poison by biting and enslaving their victims. They are indistinguishable from normal humans, while others are disgustingly ugly. Heretics hide away from prying eyes. They seem to be connected to the common consciousness and are an absolutely loyal and part. The astropathic choir master of Dargonius suggests that the cult behind the extermination of the psychers on the planet, and since a ghost of a powerful consciousness of some sort. Astropaths we have forced to serve on Dargonius are afraid. They do not wish to become a living shield if the enemy launches another psychic assault. I fear that this line in our defense is quite fragile. Do those abominations look like the ones on my ship? The same cursed brood? I'm afraid so. We have depicted quite similar to what we have witnessed ourselves. These same deformities, these same underhanded tactics. Either they are kin to our aberrations or they are another branch stemming from the same fellow. Is cover for this cult? Indeed, they have begun recruiting workers, easily blend in with laboring riffraff, posing as a union of technomats. They were able to conceal their secret operations and infiltration in the upper echelons of power. Each new crisis allowed them to gain more and more of our trust. And the most despicable of all is that they have perverted our faith. They revere the God Emperor in the form of four-armed monstrosity. Their prayers are full of hatred towards those who come in power and promises reckoning their individual deity. And equate them with oppressors, that is us. Many fools and troublemakers have fallen for their lies, living in the secluded labor settlements in Sisyphon. They could act with impunity, but they at least prevented them from inflicting hives as severely as they could have done. Your lordship stood on the minor cults. They received a golden opportunity to recruit more openly to their ranks, and they are brimming with fools who have yet to realize. What are those mutants? Gene stealers, Xenos plague. More threatening than Yukari. Messrs. Great Devourer, my kin can sense the shapeshifters. Stayed vigilant for a species as psychically weak as the monkey. What forces do they have at their disposal? The heretics mostly consist of workers, infiltrated guard. The cultists are fearless, readily sacrifice themselves, so we cannot begin as a psychic threat. Tribes of the engine vandals will support them. Directly influenced by the plague, and we have to act. Absolutely right. It is impossible to negotiate with degenerates who are starting us up. Should we attack decisively or quickly, or should we show our hand by bringing assault vehicles into the capital and gaining advantage? Do we quietly eliminate their leaders, or do we rain down destruction of territories and cleanse them of traitors? Raise the people to battle and publicly proclaim war. Heretics are hiding among them, and millions of loyal subjects will grind the traitors to dust. Let others sully their hands. Just one beacon, and my kinsmen will descend upon the affected hives. Perhaps they will cause some additional casualties, but have no doubt none of your enemies will survive. Cleansing should be enough. A few good wrecks of dead ships still linger in orbit. Command your fleet to fix them and send them plummeting. And Sarlo linked by Commonwealth should start launch there to drown out the voice. Right. May the mutant heretics perish. At the appointed time, the shook from the thunderous tread of combat vehicles and army enforcers came to wage war on the mutant heretics. Despite having time to prepare, their defenses could not match for the planetary guard's weaponry. Wars were spread by an angry mob led by a fanatically howling priest. The fight quickly devolved into a bloody riot. Clueless followers of the minor cults rallied around the Foreman clan. Seeing the attackers as yet another attempt to press them, they were unaware that they were helping a genetic plague. Everything was over in one cycle. Filthy shrines and heretic sanctuaries were set ablaze, cult's agents mercilessly exterminated, and the rest of the aberration strength crushed. One thing filled with unease. Inside the cult's main temple, they found the den of some grotesquely enormous monster. It was empty. They did not find the beast. If the Emperor had been merciful to Draconis, the monster would have perished in the fires. Alright. Was it necessary to do that particular mission? Or that particular, What's your call? That particular improvement. Hey, I have an answer. That is a question. Okay. It's a bug. Give me a quick second to see if I can't update the game. And we are updating. Go to downloads. Scanning files. Oh wow, that is a, oops, that is a 6 gigabyte download. That is taking, oh, significantly less time than I thought. That was an hour, and now it's down to about 20 minutes, and now it's down to 18. Now it's down to 14, 13. I think it's mostly because this is a patch and not actually like a full-on download. Like half of this seems like it's just patching. We're down to below 6.5. God, I hope nothing fucks up with this. Down to 5. Yes, water break. In the meantime, look at what Mo sent me. Can you read that? It says docks legally food. It is a storefront. And it says, don't worry about it. Hetzer fried steak, and there's a Hetzer in the roof because I made a joke that one of the delicacies on Van Zant is, for some reason, there's a Hetzer in the roof of a restaurant. They fire the AC-20 to get the barrel nice and hot and fry a steak on it. Free Corn Thursday. This is a hilarious little gift that he made. Thank you, Mo. We're down to less than a minute. Does it sell Fiesta Pale? Probably. Probably it does. Ah. And now we enter the long dark tea time of the soul of the last few megabytes of download, where less than a minute turns out to be an entire fucking hour. Also, it seems that restarting the router seems to have fixed everything. What a wonderful world we live in, where turning it off and on again is usually the solution to many things. Executing setup. Okay. Updating. Installation complete. We're good. Okay. And play. Look at me, updating my game in the middle of gameplay. No, it's very weird. Especially on things, yes, especially on things where it really shouldn't work. Like, it makes me really think that Games Workshop is onto something with the machine spirits. Like, sometimes they just need to take a fucking nap. Sometimes the computer just needs to take a nap. And I don't know why. Also, one of the eagles has an eye and the other doesn't. What is the lore behind that? Hey, Solomorn. You ready to talk?
Rogue trader. You know where to find.
Ah! It wasn't that, it wasn't that it, wasn't correct. It's that it is literally the wrong words. Fun! The wrong flag and dialect was collected. The Aquila, the two-headed eagle, one has an eye and the other doesn't. I know what the two eagles represent. I just didn't know why one has an eye and the other doesn't. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. That's not technically mine, but I sure am gonna rifle through it. Sealed on all sides, 5 tons of finest sludge.
Victory awaits!
This explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Silver prayer beads and tarnished adeptus some strange symbol. Victim must have been buried in the middle of an inventory.
Requesting permission to rescue valuable technology from this maw of entropy and cesspool of violated storage regulations.
Pascal, you're the last person I would want to try for stealing the tithe. Only the rogue trader, due to his unique status, has the authority to remove anything from this planet.
Oh. Who's that? More shadows from the riven sky. They're dressed nice. Hey, is that an arbiter? Oh, an arbiter be here. They all hold up in their outposts, and this bunch has crawled out from the dump. Walls will deal with them. He can smell a fake. Move it. Captain decides your fate. I decide yours, you peasants. Gilded ceremonial blades are tied with rough ropes and spikes surrounding the encampment. Captain Walls, do I take the oath now? Swear to never abandon a comrade in arms, and you ever been fired on? Been under fire, son? No, Corporal. Here's your oath, then. Go, stepchild of the Imperium, become bones of the foundation of the new truth. Weapons, both old and new, from a variety of worlds, are lie together in an incoherent pile. Every gap is filled with ammunition of different calibers.
It's about time.
Hello, Captain. Heard the shuttle, and here you are. Not a tithe, not clerks, but guests from the riven sky. The chance we've long been waiting for. Head looks hideous burns on his head make him look like a ball of molten wax. These guardsmen refer to you as Captain. I do not know by whom or by what right that rank was given to you, but it means nothing to me. Every living tithe must be commanded by a sergeant, whereas yours, I need to see them. I need them to take us to the Arpates outpost. Our sergeant, we strung up our sergeant. The Arpates gave him to us. They serve the riven sky, and nothing comes from the sky but evil. Murder of a superior officer, desertion of living tithe quarters, defamation of our Adeptus Arbitrus members, more than enough for a verdict. Abelard, explain to this man at once how he will address me. Guardsman, before you stands rogue trader Fidelo von Valancius. Ah, shit. By the will of the Emperor, the ruler of millions of subjects and sovereign of many planets, Lethus included. From now on, you will show his lordship proper deference and obey any order without question. You see, I see the crux of the matter. You are someone very important, someone whose rival can turn the tide, even more than I expected. Hey, what's up, Rimward? Who are you? Am I on the... Yes, I am. Captain Waltz. Stepchild of the Imperium, as we all are, living tithe abandoned to his fate, and a Death World veteran who ended up among the recruits by mistake, and you admit to murdering your commander so easily. Commander, no, the enemy was hiding the truth from us, then prevented us from taking action. His death opened the way to freedom and made us realize that there is nothing up there. We are on our own. You better explain what the warp is going on here. Our illusions were shattered. The Arbites brought us here and left us to rot for years. And our chance to die heroically in the name of the Imperium until we realize the Imperium is gone. All there is the Riven Sky. What makes you think there's no Imperium? Look around you. Everything you see was a tithe, a sacred payment to the Imperium, and what became of it? Why did it never travel to the worlds as we were promised? And why are we starving here instead of doing battle among the stars? Because there's nothing there, and that's why. You saw my shuttle arrive with your army. Where do you think it came from? Riven Sky? The children of the Abyss like to toy with our minds. You keep bringing new garbage here and dumping it in our heads, all just to maintain the feeble facade of your lives. You keep talking about the future that will never come. Enough. What is the Riven Sky? Don't try to fool me. We both know the truth. The Riven Sky is the abyss that has devoured everything outside. The primordial darkness. Sometimes the sky sends people. But they're imitations, shadows wearing human skin. They don't know that they don't know that they don't exist, but I see right through them. They come from the Steel Star with the scarlet overseeing eye from your ruler's throne. If the Imperium does not exist, then who feeds you? We break containers open, we get our own sustenance. At least the food here is real. Your minions, the Arbites, toss us some rations, but they aren't enough for the whole regiment. There are too many of us now. Your choice was between starving to death and desecrating the tithe. This mitigating sentence will be taken into account during your sentencing. You are insane. That's how the youngsters always say, because you're afraid of the one who knows the truth. There's no doubt you're doomed, my guardsman, but by succumbing to doubt, you have embarked on the path of the wicked, and now you will not escape judgment. For it is said that all who spares shall betray, and all betray shall draw his retribution. What do you need so many soldiers for? Me? No, no, no. We need each other. Only together can we take the Riven Sky and its emissaries. First, we take the Arbites, then we fly the Steel Star in the sky. Then we strike down the false rulers and begin our restoration of the true Imperium. I need to get the outpost. Of course you do. What else? I know the way. I dream of their little fortress at night, overwhelmed in a flame. The avenues of the approach, the adjacent high grounds, the shelters, they're all burned and placed in my mind. How often I think about that place. The stepchildren and I will arrive there very soon. I'll raise the bloody head of the false law on a spike and destroy the illusion of the ruined sky. Then the other guards will join me and our march towards stars will begin. I have no further questions for anyone who's clear-eyed of the mind. The question I would like to ask is, how do we prevent this ugly situation? No matter, you will never take the outpost. I am sure that's what you think. You have one of the law dogs at your side. So you are their commander, emissary of the Riven Sky. With you as my hostage, we'll open their gates to me without a fight. Take this one alive. I don't need the rest of them.
Take a knee and bow before me. Crush them.
Me. If you insist, Lord Captain. I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Alrighty.
If I may.
Everyone, eat pain.
Me. Now you're clad in scarlet. I am a navigator, not a servitor. I'll paint your death in colors.
Doubt is for the weak. I refuse. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Alrighty, Argenta, for the second time today, go Bert.
God Emperor, move through me! Be the
Posture
fire
check.
in my heart!
And a rat-a-tat-tat.
I'll do it. For you, my Emperor! Power resides in the will of the righteous.
Scribe looks at the bed, then turns to you to change of tactics. I must cut off all arrival points for their reinforcements. You know, cables and counterweights. They're what's keeping. We get rid of counterweights. Containers fall. In the blocked passages, someone will have to climb onto the semblance of a tank and open fire. She's the man. Abelard, I entrust the tank to you. Last time I done this was when I had my first grandchild. But it will all come back to me once I get my hands on the levers.
As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak. Each strike is a prayer. Rejoice in battle!
Dealing damage to bulk.
Okay, I recall that there is some achievements. Come on.